It's time to stop calling them co-pilots because as of today, February 3rd, artificial intelligence isn't just assistance anymore, it's becoming the operating system of the global economy. In this video, we're breaking down 5 critical stories that prove the middle layer of the tech industry is collapsing. Alright, Apple has officially integrated OpenAI agents into the heart of the App Store. Anthropic just crashed the stock prices of European software companies. OpenAI is hemorrhaging senior researchers as it pivots to pure commercialization. Microsoft is building a marketplace to put a price tag on truth, and Meta has made AI usage mandatory for employee survival. If you work in software, data, or professional services, the rules of your career have changed. Let's start with the most dangerous distribution update of the year coming directly from Cupertino. Before today, if you wanted to build an app using AI, you had to leave your coding environment, with the exception of if you're using, what is the Gemini one? What was the Gemini one called? Illumination? Magic Carpet? What was it called? Anyway, today The Verge reports that Apple is integrating OpenAI and Anthropic directly into Xcode. Specifically, the new integrations in Xcode 26.3 will allow developers to call upon Anthropic's Claude agent and OpenAI's Codex to write, edit, test code. So let's talk about Xcode real quick. Xcode is the IDE, or just the code editor for regular people. You cannot build an iPhone app, a Mac app, or an iPad app without using Xcode. If you don't pass through this specific piece of software, you can't write code for Apple. It is an absolute choke point for mobile development. Well, there are some workarounds, but generally speaking, yeah, you have to use Xcode. By embedding these agents directly into the choke point, Apple is normalizing agentic coding. Apple is giving these agents deep access to project settings, documentation, and raw code base, and they're really just sort of catching up to where the rest of the development world is, reducing the sum total of gatekeeping in the Apple environment. So the consequence of this is profound. 6 months from now, the barrier to entry for building software on the world's most profitable hardware platform will effectively vanish. Apple is removing the friction of coding, but this creates a dangerous power dynamic, okay? By integrating OpenAI and Anthropic natively, Apple is effectively choosing the winners. If you're a startup building a competing AI coding tool, you are fighting against the operating system itself. All right, so now we ask, if the platforms own the creative tools, what happens to companies whose entire business model relies on selling specialized software? The answer arrived this afternoon, and it was brutal. The Guardian and Business Insider report that Anthropic's launch of a new AI legal tool has immediately triggered a massive sell-off in European data and software stocks. The market reaction was swift. Investors realized in real time that if a general-purpose model like Claude can perform high-level legal analysis, the need for expensive, specialized legal software evaporates. Investors believed these companies were safe because they had moats, proprietary workflows, and niche data that a general AI could not replicate. And now that thesis is dead. Anthropic proved today that a sufficiently advanced general intelligence is capable of eating these vertical markets whole. So if specialized software is going away and coding is being automated, the companies building these models must be supremely confident, right? They must be doubling down on the science to ensure they win this race. Actually, the opposite is happening. The companies building these models are rapidly abandoning science in favor of sales. Ars Technica reports today that senior staff are departing OpenAI en masse. The reason is explicit. The firm is redirecting resources away from long-term research and focusing almost entirely on improving ChatGPT, their flagship consumer product. OpenAI was founded as a research laboratory, but you cannot pay for the massive compute clusters required to run these models with academic papers. So by shifting resources away from long-term research and toward ChatGPT, OpenAI is admitting that they are no longer really a research lab. They're a product company. We've known this for a while. They are under immense pressure to ship. This is further confirmed by their launch of a dedicated Mac OS app for Codex today. They're racing to capture the user workflow before Apple or Microsoft can fully lock them out. But this pivot introduces a critical risk. When you prioritize product over research, you prioritize speed over safety. This brings us to our next bit of... For years, the tech giants have treated the internet as an all-you-can-eat buffet, scraping content without paying for it. This era is ending. The Verge reports that Microsoft is building a new system called the Publisher Content Marketplace, or PCM. This is going to become critical infrastructure for development. The Publisher Content Marketplace is essentially an app store for data licensing. It allows publishers, newspapers, media companies, academic journals to set terms and prices for how their content is used to ground AI models. And when we talk about grounding, what I mean is the technical process of connecting an AI model to verifiable, up-to-date facts to prevent hallucinations. Why does this matter? Well, it's because Microsoft is financializing the truth. By creating a marketplace, they are acknowledging that high-quality data is a scarce asset that must be paid for. This creates a two-tier internet. Tier 1 is the grounded internet, reliable, fact-checked, and expensive. Access to this tier will be sold by Microsoft and consumed by enterprise AI agents. And Tier 2 is the scrapable internet, AI-generated slop, low-quality content, shit posting on Reddit, data. And if you're a business, you're gonna have to pay a premium to ensure your AI agent is looking at the truth. This brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. We have discussed the tools, Apple, the collapse of the middle layer, Anthropic, the pivot to product, OpenAI, and the financialization of data, Microsoft. But what about the humans inside these companies? How are they reacting to this shift? Today, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, has officially tied employee performance reviews to AI usage. This is not a suggestion, okay? This is a mandate. Meta is signaling that if you do not use these tools to increase your output, you're failing at your job. Okay, it starts with Apple putting the tools in your hand, Anthropic making specialized human knowledge obsolete, OpenAI prioritizing speed over safety, and it ends with your employer telling you that your value is now measured by how well you manage the machines that are slowly replacing you. So the question you have to ask yourself tonight is not which AI tool should I use. The question is, in an economy where code is written by agents and the data is brokered by Microsoft, what is the asset that you actually own? And if you can't answer that question, you are just training data. So find a way to make your data worth money, baby. All right, that's kind of a bleak today's update, February 3rd, 2026. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Love you.